In baseball, if you put all of your hope and dreams and aspirations and your happiness towards baseball and what you're doing on the field, you will be truly, truly disappointed on a daily basis.
That's a lesson New York Yankees' Mark Teixeira learned early in his Major League Baseball career. As the first baseman for the most popular sports franchise in the world, it's a revelation that rings true every time he takes the field in Yankee Stadium.
There are very few opportunities for a baseball player to have it all, to go 4 for 4 with 2 home runs, win the game, and everyone's happy. You know, even in the midst of that game, if you're in the road city, you're gonna get booed. You know, or if you go 3 for 3 in your last at bat, you pop out with the bases loaded and lose the game, your home team boos you.
Mark, also known as Tex by teammates, became a Christian as a kid. But after he debuted in the majors in 2003 with the Texas Rangers, his focus on life had shifted a bit.
Everything was about me, you know, baseball and you know what I could do for myself and for me and my wife. You know, whether it was a relationship with someone else, if I didn't like the way they were dealing with me, I just cut them off and said, well, that's not helping me. And I knew I had to rely on God, but I still didn't have that relationship with Christ where I could a daily talk with him and really understand, you know, what that relationship was all about. And that was one thing that when you don't have a relationship with Christ, you don't understand. You need to love everybody, not accept or not tolerate people, but really, truly love them.
Then in 2006, Mark discovered what true love really meant when he became a father.
My son came along and I said, wow. I said, I am so selfish. I can't believe how selfish I've been for the first 25 years of my life. And now I have this little boy from my wife and I to take care of. And that was the aha moment that everything else was put in perspective. And you know, the love that God has for me is the same love that I now have for my son.
Mark had a new perspective on life and baseball. It's been described as a game where you fail more times than you succeed. And Mark says that's where your faith in God takes the place.
Absolutely. Like I said, God's never disappointed me because I know that his will, no matter failure or success, it's his will. And I need to submit to that will.
In 2007, Mark was offered a lucrative deal to stay with the Rangers, but he declined. Then he was traded to the Atlanta Braves. And he says it's decisions like that where he relies on God for guidance.
If you're not praying about every big decision in your life, then you have the opportunity to make the wrong decision. And we just hope to say, you know what, God, I'm gonna follow you, and wherever you point me in this direction, I'm gonna do whatever I can do to make the best of the situation and glorify you. Because at the end of the day, no matter what you're doing, playing baseball or a member of the media or member of the staff here at the stadium, you know, whatever you're doing, you need to be doing for the glory of God.
Listening to God paid off big. That season, he had a .317 batting average and had 17 home runs. Then in 2009, after a stop in Anaheim, he signed with the Bronx Bombers, the New York Yankees. And that season, he and the Yankees became World Series champions.
I knew that if I prayed about it, that everything would be taken care of. And I've always said every big decision in your life, if you pray about it, is an easy decision. And it's been true. When I'm playing, I pray a lot. Game 6 of the World Series, I prayed more that game than I ever have because the stakes were so high. And I was saying, God, please don't let me think too far ahead. And then, God, please be with Mariano in the 9th inning, that last out. And you know, God, please don't let me drop this ball. You know, those type of things, because you know, when you get caught up in the emotions of a game or anything that you're doing, if you don't have God on your side, you're playing by yourself a little bit, and I always want God on my side.
Mark is in his 11th season, his 5th with the Yankees. And as he continues to leave his mark on the game in baseball's toughest city, he's keeping everything in perspective and leaving what happens on and off the field in God's hands.
Number one, I've just been so blessed, and I always give thanks to Jesus and to God, because if it wasn't for the natural ability that I was given, I would never be here. I really don't like the self-made label that some people say, well, he's self-made, or you know, he worked so hard that he became. Yes, of course, hard work is important, But if you don't give credit where credit is due, then you start believing in yourself more than you're believing in God. And I think that's where guys get in trouble. And I've always just tried to keep that perspective that it's not really me, it's because of the gifts that I've been given. I'm nothing without God. And it doesn't matter, like I said, it doesn't matter who you are. If you think that you can live this life without God in your life, you're going to be disappointed a lot along the way.